Hello guys, hope you're all doing well. Okay, in the last video, okay, we couldn't cover the last 2 points. Okay, so let's quickly see here what we are going to discuss. Okay, the last 2 missed out topics were verbs, okay, and then some vocabulary. So let's quickly see verbs, guys. So verbs could be, okay, two types actually. One is action verbs and then non-action verbs, ma. Okay, so let's quickly see, okay, non-action verbs. Okay, so we have almost 3 varieties of non-action verbs. Now let's quickly see B forms, ma. So let's see what are B forms. Am, is, are, was, were, be, being, and then being. These are all called as B forms, ma, which are nothing but non-action verbs, and they're also called as linking verbs and stative verbs, guys. So these verbs actually, okay, try to establish the relationship between the subject and the object, ma. So let's quickly see, okay. Am, is, are, okay, and maybe in the upcoming videos I will give you deeper explanation, ma. So let's quickly see here. Am, is, are, the verbs, we use them in the present tense. We use them in the present tense, guys. And was, were, the verbs, okay, they are again non-action verbs, are used in past tense, ma. They are used in past tense. Okay, and here we need to know one more thing. Some verbs are singular verbs and some verbs are plural verbs, guys. So here, if you notice, okay, is, was are singular verbs and are, were are said to be plural verbs, guys. Okay. Okay guys, so as I mentioned earlier about the B forms, okay, now let's quickly see some examples, ma. So remember here, when we use B forms here, okay, we are not going to really use action verbs, ma. So that's the main idea here. So let's quickly see, okay, I am a student, okay. So if you notice here, am is always used with I, guys. This is an exception point, ma, so please bear this in your mind. We always use am with I, okay, in the present tense, okay. And here if you notice, we are not really using any action verb. After am, we are not using any action verb. Directly we are using subject, which is a pronoun, am, which is a B form, okay, which is not an action verb, which is connecting what is, okay, the subject, the relationship with the subject and with the object, guys. Okay, student is said to be an object, ma. Okay, similarly, if you notice another example, he is my friend. So if you notice here, okay, he is actually singular subject and here is, which is a singular verb, and if you notice, ma, here we are not using any action verb, guys. Okay, and nextly, okay, let's see another example. We are Indians. Okay, we are Indians. So here we is said to be plural subject and are is said to be a plural verb. So here you need to notice couple of things, ma. One is that, okay, am is always used with I, which is an exception, and secondly, here if you notice, there is subject verb agreement. This is singular subject and singular verb. This is plural subject and plural verb. So why are we trying to make an agreement between subject and verb? Let's quickly see it, guys. We follow the rule called golden rule. Golden rule of subject verb agreement. Stop. Okay, now the the golden rule of subject-verb agreement is that, guys, if the subject is singular, the verb is also singular. If the subject is plural, the verb is also plural. So I'll try to provide more examples on this golden rule, guys. And the main thing what you really have to notice here is, okay, we use be forms, okay, at this moment without using action verbs. So very easily you can make, okay, as many sentences as possible. Especially after verb, you could use adjectives, you could use interesting vocabulary also. So maybe once we are done with these examples, so I really want you to shoot me in the chat box or in the comment box, okay, using more examples with am, is and are. Now let's quickly see, guys, interesting vocabulary. Okay, guys, so as I mentioned, okay, subject verb agreement golden rule. So please make as many examples as possible either in the chat box or in your notebooks, ma. Now let's quickly see some interesting vocabulary, guys. So maybe you could use this vocabulary in your sentences, ma, using am, is, are, guys. Okay, now let's see the very first word, ma. Candid. Okay, so repeat after me, guys. Candid. Okay, candid. So the meaning of candid is honest. Honest, ma. It's not honest, guys. H is silent here. So you must say honest, ma. Okay. So maybe you could say that, well, I am candid. Okay. Or if you want to use contraction here, you could say I'm. Okay, this is called contraction, ma. We are using apostrophe here. Okay. So either you could say I am candid or I'm candid, which means I'm honest. Okay. Or maybe you could also say that my friend is candid, something like this. So instead of using this word honest, you better use this word candid, that makes or that grabs the attention of your English, ma. Okay. Now let's look at quickly second example. Okay. Let's use the word diligent. Okay, now let's see what is the meaning of diligent. Hard working. Okay, maybe you could say that, well, my parents are diligent. Okay, you could say my parents are diligent. Do you see, guys, how interesting the vocabulary is? Actually, it attracts your English, ma, when you use the vocabulary. Okay, so please comment in the chat box using this vocabulary: candid, diligent. Okay, now let's see some more vocabulary, ma.
Start.
Okay, guys, now let's see third word, ma. Insipid. Insipid means lacking flavor or taste. Okay, maybe when you describe about food, you could say well, the meal is insipid or the food is insipid. Okay, when there is no taste in the food, that's when you could say it's insipid, ma. Okay, now let's quickly see another example. Okay, maybe we could use the word indispensable. Okay, so the word, okay, insipid, okay, here indispensable. Okay, the meaning of indispensable means, okay, absolutely essential, guys, absolutely essential. So obviously these days, okay, we are very much dependent on technology, isn't it, ma? We are very much dependent on internet, right? So we could say that, well, okay, these days, okay, technology is indispensable, or we could say, okay, education, okay, or maybe higher education is indispensable for every individual. Do you understand, guys? And one last word, ma, let's quickly see. We could say the word